Today's art lesson is all about emphasis. How can you emphasize part of your art to really catch your viewer's eye and draw them in to your artwork? You can use emphasis. There's tons of ways to put emphasis into your art. If you look at the painting on the right, you'll see a man with an apple directly in front of his face. The artist used emphasis by putting a very random object floating directly in what you would think would be the most important part, a person's face. So that artist used emphasis in an interesting way. And other ways to add emphasis is to simply make part of your picture really stand out. Let's try. We're going to start with white paper and a heart stencil. You can use different sizes of hearts in your artwork, but for this example, I'm just using one size. It's up to you. You're going to trace your heart stencils, and the trick is to not overlap your hearts. So for my first two, I'm going to space them apart. So they're not really touching each other. They're kind of floating off next to each other. But as I add more, I'm going to underlap, not overlap, underlap. That means draw the lines of the stencil only where there isn't already a line. This way, it looks like your shapes are kind of piled on top of each other. We're working from the top down, adding more and more shapes, making sure that you stop when you hit one of your previous lines. The next thing I'm going to do is color in the negative space. The negative space is any part of this picture that's not a heart. It's the space behind the heart, the farthest away part of the picture. So I'm using my black colored pencil to X out the space, the shapes in this picture that are not hearts. It's kind of a trick to look carefully and see, but I think you'll understand as you watch me color it in. I'm just making sure that I'm not coloring anything that's part of a heart shape. As part of my design, I'm going to fill each of the heart shapes with concentric lines. Concentric lines are lines that are close together and repeat the same shape over and over. In this case, a heart. So I'm just going to go one by one to each of my hearts, and then inside the shape, draw another heart. And I will repeat, and they'll get smaller and smaller until I can't really fit a heart in there anymore. When I'm doing hearts that you can't see the whole shape, I really have to concentrate and kind of imagine where the heart shape is in that partial shape. I've got to look closely and follow the lines that I've already drawn. That way it'll look like all the hearts are stacked on top of each other. Okay, the last step is where I really get to add emphasis. Since everything's basically already a repeated version of the same shape and the same lines and the same color background, I'm going to choose one of my hearts and I'm going to add emphasis. I'm going to make it stand out. You could do this in any different kind of color or way that you want to make that one heart stand out, but it's important that you only add color to one of the heart shapes. It could be a whole heart or part of a heart that's kind of peeking out. I'm just using my one red color because I'm just trying to keep it simple, but I bet you could come up with something really creative to decorate or color that one heart to add the best emphasis for your art.